What's up, everybody? Applerski here. Kind of a special video for me. Um, we have the name and we have a date on the trailer for the next mainline of Assassin's Creed game, and it is not Codename Red, not Red, thank God. It is Assassin's Creed Shadows. And I was going to put this video out yesterday. I decided to kind of wait on it. I wanted to make it a little bit more impactful. But yeah, so we get the trailer tomorrow at 9 a.m. and I'm going to be doing a follow-up breakdown of the trailer, what we see, and kind of my thoughts on how the game is going to play and feel and all that stuff. But the main thing I wanted to focus on in this video, and I'll get to all the details of, the game itself and what's gonna come with the future of it, but I wanted to focus on the title of it. I was watching a couple other people's videos they put out talking about the official announcement and the name reveal and all that, and a lot of people seem to think that Assassin's Creed Shadows sounds very boring as far as a name goes, or just not as thought out as some of the other titles in the series. But one thing I wanted to actually point out is that, well, first of all, I minored in history in college, and I took Japanese. I also took like Japanese culture class. So, and I've been obsessed with samurai culture and Japanese culture my whole life. So, the word shadow is a very special word to Japanese culture. Okay. Now, in Japanese, it is kage. Kage means shadow in Japanese. Okay, and that's a very synonymous word to the people of Japan, especially back then. They utilized, and so okay. In Western culture, the word shadow is kind of only like has one meaning, right? And it's only associated with dark, right? So I could see why it would seem like kind of like a lazy or boring like title name, but fact of the matter is that because this franchise is worldwide, I already kind of knew from the get-go that we weren't going to get the subtitle wouldn't be a Japanese word, right? Like it's got to appeal to everybody. It's got to make sense to everybody. And there's not a lot of Japanese words that the majority of people would recognize what it means, right? And Shadow, to be honest, when I was thinking about what it's going to be called, Shadow was actually on my list. Highest on my list, what I wished for it to be called was Assassin's Creed Bushido, because I feel like that's the closest Japanese word, probably most recognizable when it comes to like samurai or Japanese culture to Americans and people outside of Japan. But nevertheless, we get Shadow, and again, going back to what I was saying previously, in Japanese, Kage is what Shadow is, and it's more than a word to them. It's kind of like a philosophy. They even use it in things like architecture, right? Like it's like the art of shadow, right? And it's a duality term to them. It's not just a depiction of darkness. It's kind of both. And if you think about it, that makes sense because light casts shadows, right? And shadows are dark, and at nighttime they're even darker, right? Something to fear, something, but also something that's necessary for balance, and that's kind of why I feel they picked this name. Assassin's Creed is my favorite game franchise of all time, and you might think, oh, that's kind of boring, it's very popular, yearly releases, what have you. But no, it's more than that. It's if we could all agree on one thing that the Assassin's Creed franchise has never failed on, is how they treat the history and the time periods. and they've never got any of them wrong. So that makes me very excited for this entry, and I feel like that might be why we've waited so long for a feudal Japan setting for Assassin's Creed. You know, I know there was times they said they would never even do it because the market was like overly saturated with Japanese samurai stuff. Well, not really though. I mean, like most samurai games we've gotten, like in the past, especially, like are more like mythological, where you kind of just play as a samurai type character, but they're not historical set pieces, right? Like you think of Onimusha, it was like Resident Evil, but you play as a samurai. Then there's a lot of samurai aspects in games, like like Final Fantasy VII, Sephiroth. Just there is a lot of, and has been a lot of like samurai type games, but it wasn't really until Ghost of Tsushima that we got like a full blown like action adventure narrative that was historically accurate, right? And then Rise of the Ronin, as much as people kind of, that game's kind of divided, like they got it pretty close, like to actually what happened in real life. So I don't think that they're gonna mess this up, and I think they chose the term Shadow for the name very wisely, because if you look at all their previous, since they've stopped doing numbered titles, they've all, the words, the subtitles of the games have always meant something to that culture or event that is happening during that time frame. And what I feel like they chose Shadow for is because it's a duality, right? It's a balance of good and light, or sorry, of light and dark. And if the rumors are true to be believed, we play as two different characters, right? We play as Yasuke, who is more of a traditional samurai, which would be your light, and then we have the female character, who's more of a shinobi, a ninja. Um, so I believe that's kind of why they went with the name, and I like it. I really like it. So I just wanted to let you guys know, if the title of it sounds boring or lazy, I don't think it is. I think this is a completely deliberate move, and it's going to mean something to the overall gameplay and storyline. So other than that, I'm excited for the trailer tomorrow. I cannot wait. I'll be posting my thoughts on it. We did get a little bit of other information as to the season pass that will be included. It's $40. I highly recommend you do it because they do not hold back when it comes to these season pass things. I mean, Valhalla had so much more content added to it, so I just kind of wanted to give you my thoughts on that. And I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks, guys.